now for the real question. There it is. Okay. Perfect. Let's see. So where we last left off, it was just outside of Orochimaru's mansion. Okay, so it is at the time of recording the day before New Year's Eve, rather. And in that time, I have actually gone back to read the Sasuke retrieval arc, as well as finishing Tanzaku Town because I had one more book to finish there. So I can attribute most of what I said in the past live stream, some of what I said as to Man with Half the Facts talks about things. I went back and actually reread a lot of the events that happened, and a lot of the stuff I said about Sasuke, rather Naruto and Sakura, weren't true. I guess that can be a testament to how memories can be, where you are not always going to remember the facts, you're going to remember the parts that stood out to you the most. And what stood out to me the most was Naruto threatening Sasuke to come back. I hadn't realized, or I hadn't remembered rather, that both Naruto and Sakura tried many times to reason with Sasuke, and he legit was just not having it. And so this also played a very weird part in me understanding the story of Naruto, because a lot of it is, about love, the lack thereof, or the presence thereof, and how it affects its characters, or its main characters, I should say. And when I get to Sasuke, here is a character who was loved, right? He is a character who is loved pretty expressly by his peer, his best friend, and to some extent his teacher. And yet, he decides to go to Orochimaru anyways. So, as you can imagine, I'm racking my brain trying to figure this one out. And the only thing that I came to the conclusion of is sometimes good people make bad decisions with their lives. And honestly, like, that's the only way I can come to it, because when I look back at previous arcs, when I look back at Zabuza and Haku, when I look back at Gaara, these are people who were not purposely put into these positions, right? These are people who kind of were forced into it because of the nature of their villages, forced into living the lifestyle that they were living because of their villages. However, Sasuke is a character who says, no, I see what's over here, I want nothing to do with it anymore.
So you made it this far.
And so,
Sigh.
like, there's no other way for me to put it, but at the same time, I think that also, it also brings into another message, and this is something that Naruto has held for the longest time. His statement at the end of the retrieval arc to be a fool for the rest of his life. The way that I take it is that Naruto, I mean, he refuses to cut Sasuke off, that's the long and short of it, but he is also just being patient with a friend that is hurting. And I don't know where to go with that, because, you know, sometimes when a person is hurt, you're not really able to talk to them, you know? Like, to an extent, they decide when they want to get out of the funk, right?
Doesn't it bother you to be helping with this?
Hold on, I actually need to not talk over the cutscene, because I don't remember anything of this arc in particular. But anyways, that's what I took it as, is that maybe not as Naruto didn't put it as eloquently as possible, but it is to be patient with Sasuke and to not just throw him under the bus. Especially since Sasuke has shown that his morals matter to him. It didn't really matter in the moment, but at the end of the fight, he chooses to be a better man, but still goes through with joining Orochimaru. I'll talk about it more after this cutscene. I want to take this in.
Not really. It is my mission after all.
Why, you?
All right, that's enough talking, I think. I can't let you beyond this point. Orochimaru's orders, because Sasuke is over there.
Sasuke is...
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid you're going to have to disappear now.
The way that leads to Sasuke is right through you. Sai, if you're gonna block our way, you won't get any mercy. Can't mess around here, especially if he's waiting right up ahead. Bust my way through if I have to.
Naruto.
Captain Yamato, Sakura, don't interfere. I'll take care of this.
Wait, there are 3 of us here. We'll have a better chance at moving forward if we all...
Captain Yamato, please let Naruto do this. I think there's a lot that Naruto wants to tell Sai through this fight.
But...
Please.
I can't give you very long. If I think you're losing, I'll step in.
Right. Here I come, Sai!
So, as I was mentioning, with Sasuke, I think the biggest thing that helped my misrememberage of the Sasuke retrieval arc and how Sasuke acted towards Naruto and Sakura is due to the fact that the first time the curse mark ever appeared on him, his attitude changed entirely, and then he never expressed that kind of animosity until literally when he faced Naruto again at the end of the arc. And I guess to say that, what's the word I'm looking for, is that Sasuke to an extent was repressing the anger to an extent, but when he decided to go to Orochimaru for power, he just stopped holding it back and just let it all out at once, because Sasuke does not sound like himself. I have made a mistake. Any case, Sasuke doesn't sound like himself. When Naruto, when he's talking to Naruto, he sounds like a caricature of himself, if anything. And the same could be said on the rooftop of the hospital, but in that case, it's a lot more understandable because he just got out of a coma that Itachi put him in. Hang on, what's the word? Yeah. So he got out of the coma, and then the curse mark is also acting on his mind to some extent, right? At least I assume, because his personality swings are huge. But it is one thing acting on another that gets him to become the person that he is at the end of the arc. Well, hello there, person who is watching.
This power. Last time we fought, you weren't nearly this...
I told you, I won't show mercy to anyone who blocks the way to Sasuke.
Man, I did a live stream playing this game from the beginning to the end. This game on one streaming live, but I skipped all the cutscenes. Yeah, this game is pretty cutscene heavy, and that's kind of Naruto in general, due to its dialogue.
I'll do whatever it takes to protect our bond.
But I mean, was that your first time? It couldn't be your first time if you are skipping all the cutscenes.
The mission is to save
But
Sasuke.
any case, Sasuke retrieval. What else did I wanted to say about that?
Bother if I were you.
I guess I'd say the Sasuke retrieval arc had a lot more character development than I originally thought.
I met Sasuke. Even though Sakura told me you think of Sasuke as a brother, Sasuke told me that he doesn't care about you. So why?
Well, you lost pretty quickly.
Kabuto Yakshi.
You don't appear to have betrayed us. I'll forgive you.
Why, you?
Look at your face. Glaring at me won't solve anything.
Shut up! You hadn't been eyeing Sasuke in the first place, he'd never have come here!
You see, you're passing the blame.
Yeah, and
He
that's...
did come here, you know.
That is true.
To gain the power to defeat Itachi, and to steep himself in darkness.
And that's also something that I find very
Naruto was
interesting,
given the opportunity.
looking at Sasuke's character at the
His
end
own
of
choices.
the Sasuke retrieval arc, is the fact that while he retains his morals, his attitude has definitely shifted in a great response, right? Like the other day I was reading Naruto 37, I want to say, yeah, 37, and Sasuke, his ego had reached a level that I wasn't familiar with, at least from my rereading of the series. He was completely different, and that can be a number of things. 3 years? 3 years for the time skip. A lot of things change, and in that change, well, I guess it was a loss of humility and into egotism.
You still can't understand that? Well, you never were all that bright.
What was that? Give Sasuke back!
It's not as simple as giving him back, really. You're way off here. Sasuke came to us of his own accord. Why can't you just accept the truth? All right. That's enough idle chat. Why don't you return Sai to us now?
No way!
Naruto, you seem ready to fight me, but the last battle took a lot out of you. Do you really think you can beat me?
You don't know what you're talking about. You aren't fighting Naruto. You're fighting me.
Sakura?
I will never forgive you.
It's too late for you to make a difference here.
You have it backwards. Do you really think you can win against Sakura and me?
Captain Yamato?
Let's take him down, Sakura. We take too long, others may come to his aid.
I'll help too!
No, Naruto. You just watch Sai. We sat on the sidelines before. It's our turn now.
But
It's all right. I won't lose. Not to that guy.
Oh, I'd rather not strike a woman, but with a girl this stubborn, I have no choice. Why don't I teach you a little lesson?
Just try it.
So, as I also sit here, I'm reminded of what I said last time as well about Naruto. What's the word I'm looking for? About Naruto. I don't know if I said this or thought it, but either way, it's relevant to me making rectifying some things that I had. So initially, I thought that these two arcs, the Kazekage Rescue and their reunion, were about showing off Naruto's flaws and his lack of understanding of Sasuke, right? Which would then go on to explain why he couldn't beat Sasuke in their initial encounter in the Valley of the End fight of the original series. But as I reread more, I question if I had the right take in the first place. And I say that due to the fact that due to the fact that while I can probably say that's more accurate for this one, their reunion, I'm not so sure about the Kazekage Rescue arc. I think Naruto is just not written to be as on point in that fight. Not in that fight, in that arc. If anything, maybe it was on purpose to highlight his more emotional side due to the fact that Gar was being dehumanized by the Akatsuki. This time around, I think that this arc is actually way more, he says, barely having all the information, but no, reading what I read from volume 34 was that this arc was to show a lot of Naruto's faults, that a lot of the strength that he relied on in the past, he was supposed to now come at odds with, because he's relying on it too much and it's now hurting the people around him. So he now has to come forth as Naruto, which then leads into the next arc of Hidan Kakuzu. It's not the name of the arc, but it's like, what else do you call it? But anyways, like it's supposed to transition into that with the Rasen Shuriken, Naruto needing to work on himself and not just relying on the Nine Tails to bail him out. Because even though it looks cool, it has repercussions.
I never imagined you'd do so well.
Now stay out of our way!
Your way, huh? Especially you, Naruto. You're the most pathetic one of all.
What?
People change. Sasuke is no longer the boy you knew long ago. Chase dreams and ideals all you like. But sometimes, it doesn't do any good. Sasuke can't hear you anymore. He'll never return to you. Never.
Huh. No matter what anyone says, he's my friend. That bond took a lot of work. So I'm gonna protect it. End of story!
You really are an idiot. You have a bond? So what? Even if you do.
If there is a bond, they'll get him back for sure.
So,
Isn't that right, Naruto?
Yeah.
Sai, what are you saying?
There's a reason why Naruto and Sakura are following Sasuke with such fervor. They're desperate not to sever their bond with Sasuke. They're trying to keep that connection. I can't say I know what it means, but I want to see this bond that they're trying to reel in.
Sai.
So I won't let you interfere. Not anymore.
Huh. So in the end, you fall on their side, huh? I thought you might be useful, but it looks like I was wrong. Well, never mind. Either way, I know how this will end. Go on. Go waste your energy persuading Sasuke.
He got away.
Naruto, about what Kabuto said.
Whatever he said, it doesn't change what we have to do. We're taking Sasuke back!
Yeah.
So this is the
Sai,
interesting part of
you-
the story, because I do know that Sai has a brother.
I don't really understand
And
why I chose what I did, but I thought if I stayed with you, I'd discover
like
something.
Sai has a brother, and that meant something to him. I remember seeing like a snippet of the anime here about Sai's book, about the two little boys, and they had weapons, and they gained weapons from every enemy they defeat. And Sai was one of them, and his brother was the other. But I don't remember what that connection was, and it probably could have been emotional, or at least a very good character moment for him. But
I see.
kind of sucks that I don't
Okay, Captain
get it in the
Naruto.
game.
Now, we just
It-
have to
it
get
might-
Sasuke back.
No, I'm pretty sure it
Right.
was at the end of volume 34, so that book
Alright, Team
also
7.
existed in the
Resume
manga.
the mission.
Absolutely.
But is what it is. The price you pay for good pacing in a video game.
Sasuke must be just up ahead.
So close.
Okay, let's go, guys!
What else? About Sasuke. I don't think there's actually much for me to mention about Sasuke anymore, especially considering the fact that in this arc, well, I was about to say this is the last we see of him until, like, 2 chapters later. But yeah, for the most part, there's not much else I can say about his character. It was a very interesting romp, seeing how much I didn't remember about the Sasuke retrieval arc, but at the same time, going through it and getting a lot of character development for characters that I wouldn't have thought twice about, like Kiba and Choji, was a fantastic read. But surprisingly enough, I think I wanted to save this to the end, but you know what? I'm in the middle of a flow right now. So let's just go. I think the character that hit me the most in the Sasuke retrieval arc was Neji, and I wasn't expecting that. Now, Neji is a character that I try my best not to talk about due to the fact that the Neji was right allegations are everywhere. Not saying that he was wrong, at least not entirely wrong. I don't quite remember no, okay, I do remember what it was that Neji basically said. People are fated. Those who are gifted are fated to success, and those who aren't, well, are fated to the background. Something like that. Heavy paraphrasing there. But I remember the point, and I remember this because I literally finished reading and watching it. But the point of his whole monologue was that he was frustrated at the fact that he was a second string member of his family when he was the most gifted in terms of Hyuga cells. And, you know, should I wait? Nah, I'm already in. So as I get to volume 22, I'm reading it, right? And I'm just gonna sit here and talk to you about it because again, I want to see this cutscene play out for itself. But I see in volume 22, I got it right next to me on page. Where is it? Page 154. I had a moment where, in the middle of reading, I stopped and, like, for 10 minutes, I could not move on. I had to look at this picture of, well, Neji saying, thinking to Naruto rather, that he saved him from the darkness, and it was, well, you can't see it right now, but it's a picture of a bird flying through the clouds, and I don't know, I was just awestruck. There's a lot of good art in Naruto. I have been bouncing around the manga all over the place. I was in volume 37 the other day, and yesterday I finished 27, volume 27. So, like, believe you me, I've seen my fair share of good artwork in Naruto. And volume 22 has one of my favorite fights in Naruto, Neji versus Kitamaru. But with that being said, this one panel, I don't know, man, it just speaks volumes to me. And it speaks volumes to me because I guess in a sense I remember days where I was stuck in darkness, where I didn't know my left from my right, and there are days that I wish I didn't do some of the things I did. But in saying that, I also had a revelation of things. You know, sometimes it's not about living, well, not even sometimes, all the times I should say, it's not about living this life perfectly, but it's about learning, getting back up from a failure and walking forward, you know? It's, you know, to go further into this, there's a lot of things that I wonder, if I never messed up with X, would I even be doing Y right now? Because sometimes, listen, we don't change from doing things perfectly. We change from messing things up, realizing we messed things up, and then we go down a different route because of that. You know, sometimes the reason even why we trip and fall is to get us to realize, sometimes the reason why we trip and fall is to get us to realize that the path we're on is the wrong one entirely, and is to turn us around to the right path. And that page to me was a reminder of that, and it spoke volumes. I'm grateful to God that he saved me from the darkness, because I don't want to talk about it any more than I have to, but it wasn't fun. Anyways, I wanted to save that for the end, but I don't know, I hit a flow and I wanted to just keep going in that direction.
Naruto. And Sakura too.
That voice.
Finally, we found you! Sasuke!
Sasuke.
What are you doing all the way out here?
We came to bring you back!
Sorry, but you can't refuse. We'll drag you back if we have to.
I was wondering where Kakashi was. So you're here in his place. And is he my stand-in? I want to see the bond between you and Naruto. A bond? Misguided as ever.
What?
Having too many ties in this world will only lead you astray. It weakens one's ambition. You see, I have a different bond now. Between my older brother and me. It's the bond of hatred. I severed my bonds with you on that day 3 years ago.
Severed your bonds? Quit talking crazy. No matter how hard you deny it, I can feel the bond between us. It's not severed. 3 years ago, and right this very second, you and I are connected. Our bond. The bond I finally found with you. It's not something you can cut loose so easily.
I can't turn back. If that's how it is, I'll just have to sever that bond. Naruto.
Yeah, if that's the way he's gonna be, we'll just have to take him by force!
So, in Sasuke saying that his bond with his brother is based on hatred, he didn't use those exact words anyways, but that reminded me of something that I wanted to talk about, being,
Taking you home!
forgiveness, believe it or not. It was reading, it was reading volume 25 that I remembered that there's this big, eventually comes to this big thing about forgiveness in Naruto, in which, well, the seeds of it kind of get sown in volume 25 due to the fact that Sasuke refuses to let go of the past. He lets the past guide him in terms of hatred and things of that nature. And because of that, okay, this is a bit slapdash, but in layman's terms, what I'm trying to say is that due to the past hurting Sasuke and him being unable to let go of it, he keeps himself stuck. Like, the fact that he is fighting Naruto now is his greatest sign of being stuck, because he can't let go of what happened. To be fair, if I was 16 too, I probably wouldn't be able to let go of what was going on either. But I think it's a very interesting, thing, the theme of unforgiveness and how it affects characters, not only in Naruto, but in anime all over the place. I think the best example of this would probably be Team Gohan versus Cell, because that is such a short turnover between unforgiveness into realized consequences. You know, Gohan's whole unforgiveness thing being the fact that he killed, Cell killed 16, and he wanted to torture him instead of ending the fight when he very well could have. This is happening with the AI right now. Why isn't it attacking me? Anyways, for the time being, I couldn't really figure out too much to say about the theme of unforgiveness due to the fact that Naruto as a series just doesn't focus on it right in this particular moment. It highlights it, if anything, but it will become much bigger by the time we get to the heart of the Akatsuki.
Enough talk.
Did that wake you up?
If there's one thing I really like about this fight, it's how much it references their original fight in the Valley of the End. I think, no, I know for a fact that there has never been a more hyped fight in anime history than Naruto and Sasuke due to the fact that how many pieces of animation exist for this potential rematch.
I'm gonna take you back.
This being one of them.
It's over.
That used to wall me out. Like, I'm not gonna play around with you. That final QTE walled me out for an entire summer when I was a kid. But with that being said, I do think that as far as artistic direction goes, it's very interesting that Ultimate Ninja Storm 2 would take its story mode into this fight. I mentioned it a bit earlier, but Naruto had to not rely on the Nine Tails, or was urged not to by Yamato. So in the anime and the manga, the fight is much less impressive, but that's because Naruto is trying to keep himself under control. And I think that's a very interesting aspect in terms of like a dialogue you have with someone. Excuse me, because as much as Naruto could potentially force Sasuke back, I think it says something more if Naruto just tries to have a heart-to-heart to him. And Naruto tries to have a lot of heart-to-hearts to Sasuke. Most of them don't work, but I think it's always interesting for the fact that Sasuke even listens and talks back, because a lot of the times he really doesn't need to. The one that always comes to mind is in the 5 Kage Summit, after Sasuke has a crash out in the middle of the water. Well, not the middle of the water, on the bridge, which then gets him into the water. But he decides to listen to Naruto, and that's a very interesting point. That how Naruto goes from this point onward, it's not like blind childlike rage, not rage, but blind childlike emotion he comes at with Sasuke. But you can't really help Part 1 Naruto because he doesn't know any better because he's a kid. But here in Shippuden, he has to control himself. He has to use his words, and Sasuke, just electrocutes him.
But the game ends here.
That attitude.
He wasn't fighting seriously?
I'll erase you here once and for all.
I wouldn't use that jutsu, Sasuke.
Why did you stop me?
Why? I thought we'd let these young ones rid us of as many of the Akatsuki as possible. Because if other Akatsuki members interfere, it would prevent you from getting your precious revenge.
That's a pitiful excuse.
Every bit helps. If your chances for vengeance improve even just a little, why not make use of them?
Come, we're moving on to the next hideout.
Wait, Sasuke!
Naruto, like I said, he can't hear you anymore.
Sasuke!
Too bad, Naruto.
Goodbye.
Sasuke.
Sasuke.
Again. I couldn't stop him again. I am... so weak.
So that's the extent of your bond?
Huh?
Naruto, you said something to Sasuke just now. You said even if he denied it, you could feel your bond. It bound you two, unsevered. Do you think a bond that strong will be broken by something like this?
Sai.
No. Never.
In that case, everything's fine.
Huh?
You can still bring Sasuke back. And next time, I'll be there. After all, 3 makes for better odds than 2.
You were here now.
Sai. Thanks.
The fight's just begun.
Well, unfortunately, I don't exactly know what to make of the game's interpretation of Sai, so
see.
my
So there was
opinions
no
of him
hope
are
for
still up in
Sasuke.
the air. Well, I do have an opinion of him, and it's that he's okay, I guess.
And?
We're not giving up.
The mission failed. Technically. But just look at their eyes. As long as there is strength in those eyes, they'll keep fighting. They won't let anything discourage them. What promising kids. Huh. All right. In that case, I'll have you continue to carry out new missions as Team 7. You'll be contacted about your next mission shortly. Until then, I want you all on standby. Understood. I'm counting on you.
Right.
So, without wrapping up, we then get into, I believe the game calls this the Immortal Akatsuki, which I suppose works as a name. Unfortunately, this is also one of the books I have a lot of holes. One of the series chapters, arcs. There we go. That's the word I want to use. Arcs that my manga collection has a lot of holes in. With that being said,
No worries.
I do think
Lately,
that
it
I
seems
can
like you're
at
always
least talk
flying
about
around
Shikamaru in a
Naruto-sensei.
general sense, and hopefully the game just fills me in on the blank spots. I remember a good portion of this from the anime, and I remember that this was like the one time in the anime I didn't want to know the result of a fight. I would end up knowing it anyways, due to the fact of, you know, you skip forward and suddenly a character's not there. But Shikamaru as a character is always one that I found very interesting, more so on my reread
I've gotta go meet up
of
with Sakura and the
Naruto than
others.
anything else. When I was a kid, I thought he was a really cool character, thought he was even cooler thanks to the Clash of Ninja games, where he had a bunch of random mechanics that you never would think to associate with him, like an auto dodge and things of that nature. But what to say? Shikamaru is the most impressive and least impressive character at the same time, and I say that purely due to his personality. He leads you to believe that he would
Sorry to keep you
slack
waiting.
on any given moment. And while he does laze around, he also has a very curious, like, when the chips are down, you count on him type feel.
Honestly.
And it starts as early as the Forest of Death when Ino jumps in to save Sakura. He jumps in and then forces Choji along with him because he refuses to let a woman fight alone. And that's... Oh, I'm sorry, Sai's having character
What's the
development.
matter?
But to finish my thought, that says a lot about Shikamaru off the bat. That one instance, and I'll get to the rest of it after this.
He sounds different.
I mean, well, I read in a book about how to make others feel at ease around you. It said to call people by their first names, that it would breed familiarity, and might even lead to friendship. So, from now on, I was wondering if I could be less formal when I talk to you.
Huh. I never knew you thought about stuff like that.
You don't really have to ask, you know. You can be as casual as you want.
Yeah, no need to hold back around us.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Sakura,
Unfortunately, that
Let's hurry
doesn't
and hear what Captain
you know, Sai's mannerisms of speaking don't, you know, lend himself well to the English dub, but that is, it is what it is. Anyways, back to Shikamaru. In the Forest of Death, it really shows how he thinks of things, how his kind of value system of men and women go on. And I think that, interestingly enough, that value system gets challenged the most, because out of all of Shikamaru's fights, I think it's not even an exaggeration to say 90 to 80% of them are against women. And so I'm not in Kishimoto's head. I couldn't immediately tell you why and why not this is, but from how it reads, I think that Shikamaru is supposed to be a very smart kid with a massive blind spot being as to how strong or capable that women could be. And while it has his chivalrous side, for lack of a better term, has its upsides, it also has its downsides. In which case, wait, hang on. Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, okay. His downside, the downside of being quote unquote chivalrous. I wouldn't say that Shikamaru is the most chivalrous guy in the series, but he certainly carries some of it due to the fact that, again, he is the one guy who has to fight the most women in Naruto.
With my power, there's just no way. I wouldn't be able to bring him back now.
And part of that, I guess, is a bit of an underestimation of his opponent. Shikamaru is, by design, not the strongest character in the series, and he knows it.
I guess you're gonna need to get even stronger than that.
He is a setup character, if anything. He sets up a big attack and allows someone else to take in the win. But, okay. So you can tell that I'm talking off the Shikamaru aspect off the top of my head. I don't really have anything concrete to say about it. But I do think that, you know, basically, judging from all his conversations that he has about women, about his mom, about stuff like that, is that he doesn't have a very positive outlook on women. But as he goes on, as stronger women appear, as women go in to help him and things of that nature, it kind of forces him into a position where his viewpoints get challenged at the end of the Sasuke retrieval arc, and where, you know, he says, "Oh, I don't have the energy to be talking with you. I'm not a woman." And then Tamari snaps back at him with, "You're not acting much of a man by sulking like this." And it's like, there's something there. And I think that this arc is meant to forward that, to help Shikamaru grow in his mentality. Because one of the things I remember the most about this arc is the conversation about the king of the Hidden Leaf Village and how Shikamaru believed it to be the Hokage. But, you know, later on, it would be, spoiler warning, I guess. This is a very slapdash way. Like, I'll wait for the cutscenes to play out one moment, and then I'll just tell you the spoilers the next moment. But the king, from Asuma's perspective, are the children of the Hidden Leaf Village, and I think that really works on previously established stuff about the Hokage from Tsunade and the Third, where they constantly think about how the next generation is coming up, raising children and things of that nature. And it's funny because it puts it in a position, you know, I don't think it's unreasonable to say that a lot of people want to be in these high position jobs, but they don't realize how much work it is and how much care you have to do for everyone under you. It's kind of ironic in a way. Like, the higher you go up, the more you have to care for the people beneath you.
Well, we can't help with training. I want to at least do this.
What was my point in saying that? I don't know. I just found it very funny.
Make sure that your training is a success. Got it?
But
Well then,
this arc more than anything was, at least from my perspective, to cap off Shikamaru's character. You know, it rounded off his viewpoints of women. No, sorry. Sasuke Reunion rounded off his viewpoints of women and, you know, threw it back at him basically with all his whining and stuff like that, he's not acting much of a man, and that in the future, even if he feels bad that his friends get hurt, quitting when he's quitting just because he's responsible. Oh, that was another point. It was him gaining responsibility and him no longer being able to fall on his laziness anymore. Sasuke retrieval forced Shikamaru into a role of so much importance that, not importance, but a role of leadership that he couldn't pass up, that it made him like 10 times the ninja he has been the entire series. Like, his fight with Tayuya is, it's not my favorite of the, you know, Sound Ninja 5 characters, but it is nothing if gripping, right? Just seeing him trying to stand a chance against someone who can obliterate him in a handful of punches. But anyways, to get back on track, it was Shikamaru. Basically, he had to grow up in that arc. He had to grow up during, and he had to grow up afterwards. And this arc is to continue on rounding out Shikamaru so that he understands now where his effort should be going to in the grander scheme of things. Whew. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about Shikamaru. Even though this arc is about him, he has been the character I've analyzed the least in terms of Naruto. Naruto, of course, being the one I have noticed and picked up the most about, thanks to him being the face of the show. And this arc was always an interesting one for me, because even though I have a massive hole in the collection due to the fact that I didn't want to see what happened to Azuma, getting the chakra natures and things like that like got my mind going like nothing else, and trying to understand the tree of it. I think the most where do I even begin? You know, to talk about this stuff. Like the most interesting aspect of it is learning the fact that the Rasengan isn't inherently a wind style attack, even though it looks like it.
So what do I do first?
But you know, I spent Lord knows how many like days like playing back that one episode of the chakra paper and trying to learn like this one is strong against that one, and it did actually have a bit of a payoff later on in Naruto, but it's not like a whole lot.
Or lightning.
Well, rather than going into details, let's try this. First, we'll have a light sparring match. I'll check your nature during the fight.
Got
it. What else to say? I guess to say that I do kind of find it funny in the grander scheme of things about the whole chakra nature thing. Learning that Naruto's wind nature counters Sasuke's lightning style, but it amps his fire style up. And in a way, I kind of find that to be a bit funny. I think Naruto would too, due to the fact that he would comment that in a sense, his style would be the best at complementing Sasuke's inherent fire style capability. Sorry, my point that I wanted to say with that was the fact that, you know, Naruto isn't able to move forward, basically, unless he's explicitly trying to help Sasuke. Or not explicitly trying to help Sasuke, but is implied to help Sasuke in some regard. I found that a very interesting aspect about the writing in this arc. Wait, what? I get hit? I guess I got hit? Yeah, I did get hit during the fight. It wasn't a combo, but I did get hit. I don't know. I just think that, like, obviously it's the point, right? That Naruto's ability in some regard should help Sasuke, because that's the end goal. Actually, the end goal is to become a Hokage, but the new end goal is to help Sasuke out. And it is interesting, I find, that Naruto's strongest ability has the potentiality to help his greatest rival. But then again, I think that's I think that's just a sign of Naruto's writing. As Kishimoto got more of a sense of what he wanted to write, it became more clear that it's not about punching Sasuke so hard that he comes back,
Okay, so
but
what
helping
nature
him.
am I?
Your chakra nature is wind, a chakra nature that slashes through everything, outstanding in a fight.
Oh yeah, I knew it! I'm unstoppable!
Hold your horses. We've only just figured out what it is.
Now comes the hard part of learning how to properly use and control your nature.
Okay, let's do it!
Now then, since Naruto's nature is wind, I know just the guy to bring in for help.
Hey, come on. Let's take a break, all right? I'm beat from all this walking. We finished hunting the two tails and everything. No one's gonna care if we rest for a bit. Hey, yo, Kakuzu, you listening to me?
You talk a lot.
What was that?
Just be quiet and follow me, Hidan.
Listen, did you even hear what I was just saying? Did you? Stonewalling again?
Shut up. Don't make me say it again. Just be quiet and follow me.
Man. So, where are we headed now?
The land of fire. Apparently, the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki is there.
The Nine Tails, huh?
Correct me if I'm wrong. In
Another
the
sacrifice
manga,
for Lord Jashi. I'll play
Hidan,
with
no,
Naruto
Kakuzu
real good
was
before I
there
finish him
to
off.
collect a bounty because he is the I don't want to say stockbroker, but he is the money guy of the Akatsuki. Why do the Akatsuki need a money guy? Hang on. What? Yeah. Why? They don't have
Being
rent.
motivated is good, but don't get carried away. It will come back.
It
to
probably
bite you one
makes
day.
more sense if I read it all in context or just watch the
You're telling
episode
me that?
that's attached to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
But here we are.
Chapter 3.
Yeah.
The Immortal Akatsuki.
I gotta say, you know, I ain't gonna say it. I'm just gonna leave that one in my mind. But with that being said, we now come to, in my opinion, one of the coolest designed characters of
Can't
Naruto
believe I lost again.
that barely does anything.
Listen though, next time I won't lose. I'm gonna leave you with your jaw hitting the floor.
I really can't see myself losing to you and Shogi yet, Asuma.
Why, you little... Are you picking a fight?
Still, that was an interesting move you played.
What, the climbing silver strategy?
Throwing away your piece in order to infiltrate the enemy's camp? I thought you hated moves like that.
Against a superior opponent, one must make some sacrifices in order to protect one's king.
What's up?
Nothing really. It's just that I'm finally starting to realize the value of the king.
Well, lose your king and the game is over, so...
If the Leaf Village were a game of shogi, and Ninja the game pieces, do you know who the king would be?
Huh? Well, the Hokage, right?
I used to think so too, but it actually isn't.
Then who?
When the time comes, you'll know.
Huh?
All right, I best be off.
There's something you have to do?
Yeah, just some drudge work for Kakashi. I'm headed for the training field. Later.
So, as I was saying, Asuma, in my opinion, has the coolest design of Naruto, but he's a character that is meant to be a side character. I think if anything, the Clash of Ninja games were where I thought that this character really shined, in particular, due to the fact that he had a teleporting dropkick. Yeah, that's about it. I don't know. His super looked cool too, and but listen, that teleporting dropkick did numbers for me as a kid. Also, his weapon was cool, and it is kind of interesting now that I say that, because I remember a lot of the reasoning as to why I grew attached to this character as a kid, and it was through the video game. It was not, it wasn't anything Kishimoto did that made Asuma stand out to me. It was my time just playing around with him in a bunch of Wii games. It's kind of funny how that works. But I guess in that regard, you can also get attached to technically anything if you're not careful.
Asuma has a wind nature just like you. I thought he'd be useful, so I called him over.
Huh? Asuma-sensei has wind nature too?
Hey now, that's my line. I mean, who'd have thought you and I were the same?
The same, huh? Cool. Okay, I have a question then.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. You probably want to know what the trick to it is, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Still, it's hardly a trick. What you have to keep in mind is incredibly simple. Split your chakra into 2 halves, then grind them against each other, as if you were sharpening a blade.
Sharpening the blade between the 2 halves, huh?
Well, in your case, you'd probably pick it up easier if I show you during a match. Think about what I told you just now, and come at me.
Okay, I'll give it a shot.
I think also a lot of what they did to Asuma's fighting style in Storm 2 did a lot for the character for me as well, now that I think about it. Because I didn't remember how this character operated in this game. And literally in that last cutscene, I then remembered all the boxing nonsense he did. And that. I now remember that. There we go. Hopefully, I get to see the anime. No? Does that not exist in this game? Wait a minute, am I? Or it might be his throat. It might not be his throat. Oh, dude. I remember there was an animation for Asuma where he would give a mean uppercut to someone's jaw. Hang on. There it is. That one, that is what came back into my head as that cutscene played. Good time. And like the rapid punches when you do an up combo. Those two did a lot for the character for me. Now, with that being said, considering the fact that this arc in particular features the immortal Akatsuki, Hidan, and Kakuzu, I don't know. I think, again, this is about to be man with half the facts, talks as if he has all the facts, but I think that a big part of this arc is appreciating life, right? Because nobody knows when that particular time is coming for them, right? And so having 2 of the Akatsuki that basically laugh at the potentiality of dying, meanwhile Asuma is here doing his hardest just to survive, is
getting stronger.
I believe it's to reinforce that message, right? I don't know. I always wondered what I'd say when I get to this arc, because this is the one, if you couldn't tell, this is one of the arcs I don't have the most to say about. Most of what I had to actually bring to the table had something to do with Asuma, and everything regarding Naruto was interesting. I ate that up as a kid. I loved learning about all the intricacies of how the battle system worked. But when it came to Hidan and Kakuzu, when it came to everything else that was in between, I couldn't really bring myself to stick around for much. And as I mentioned earlier, when I was a kid, I didn't want to see what happened to Asuma. I like this character from the Clash of Ninja games. He was one of my go-to characters, and to see him end up on the cutting room floor, literally, was... I just couldn't do it. And I know that's a very odd statement, considering the fact that the third Hokage and, I don't know, a bunch of different characters, but...
What's the matter?
Wait, a bunch of
Something
different
on your
characters.
mind?
Who else? Third Hokage, Zabuza and Haku, I guess, but I didn't really like them like that. Yeah, a handful of characters in Naruto bit the dust. This was the one that is like,
nothing that serious.
No thanks, I don't want to see it.
Ah, Naruto, huh?
It isn't just Naruto. Shikamaru and the others. Kiba and his group too. The little runts are all growing up.
New generations on the rise, then?
It just might be. They still have some learning to do, but they'll pick up what's left along the way.
Oh, has it left you feeling a little blue? So even though you're proud, maybe you're feeling a bit lonesome too now?
You could be right.
So this is where you were.
Shikamaru, what is it?
The 5th Hokage has called an assembly. You're supposed to come up to the mansion right away.
An assembly? Did something happen?
Don't know. They didn't give me any details.
All right, I'm on my way.
See ya.
Asuma.
Hey, don't worry. Can't be all that serious.
Well, I'm scrounging for something to talk about, to be completely honest. But I don't know. I guess I don't really need to say much of anything. This arc kind of speaks for itself in a lot of its messages. Appreciate the people you have when they're still around you. I don't know. I think that's a core of its message.
I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. What's happened?
The Akatsuki made an appearance in the Land of Fire.
What?
Apparently, while they search for Jinchuriki, they're also drawing closer to the Hidden Leaf.
Then they're after.
Right. Naruto, in all likelihood.
So that's where we come in.
I've already told Shikamaru where you're likely to encounter them. You are to head to that location and take them by surprise, hopefully taking them alive. If that proves impossible, you have my permission to kill them. Now find them. Do whatever it takes, you understand?
Yes, milady.
I look forward to working with you, Captain Asura.
Back at you. All right. We'll head straight for the designated location. Shikamaru, you'll be our navigator.
Yes, sir.
Well, I guess actually this would be probably the perfect time for me to dump out my questions about Hidan and Kakuzu. I have a lot of them, dude. Okay, so I know Kakuzu reappears later on in the Third Great Ninja War, thanks to the reanimation jutsu. But I don't ever recall. Like, he says that his first,
Asuma.
or not his first, but one of his opponents was the first Hokage.
What's wrong?
Right? And as a kid, I always thought that, oh, did he kill the first Hokage? Because...
You're leaving on a mission?
You never... I didn't know. But looking as deep as I can look into Naruto, because, again, collection has holes in it, I don't...
What, you're worried?
I don't think he would... I don't think he ever did. And at
Just
least,
who do you think I am, anyway?
to my knowledge,
Not gonna
right?
mess up that
If anything,
easily.
he fought the first Hokage, got defeated, ran away with his tail between his legs, and then
I
absorbed
know that,
others. But then again, I can never really tell because the first mask that got slashed, we never see what that power is. It could have been a wood style, for all I know.
I'll be back before you know it.
And then there's Hidan. How is he immortal?
See you soon.
Because there's no
All
explanation.
right,
He's
I'm
just can't be killed, and nobody questions it. I mean, okay, it's not that nobody questions it. It's just nobody asks questions about it, and Hidan doesn't try and self-explain it either. It just happened, I guess.
Isn't that Asuma-sensei and Shikamaru?
Hey. Well, this is rare. Seeing you two together like this.
It's a long story. You're going on a mission, Asuma-sensei?
That's right.
What about you guys?
We're just on our way to meet up with Naruto.
I see. Well, when you see him, tell him to train hard, all right?
Of course.
Later.
You do your best, too.
Count on it.
Alright, we should probably go, too.
Yes.
Wow, look at him work.
Hey, Sakura, Sai, what's up? Oh, are you here to cheer me on?
No, we finished our mission, so we came to report in to Kakashi-sensei and Captain Yamato.
You two are doing well, aren't you?
We're managing. Sai's been working really hard.
No, don't listen to her.
And what about you? Are you keeping up with the training?
I'm getting a real good feel for the chakra nature transformation.
Wow, so you're actually learning, huh? Well, keep it up. Oh, that's right. We just ran into Asuma-sensei, and he said to tell you to train hard.
Glad to hear it. Asuma-sensei really helped me out.
Asuma's on a mission?
Yeah, it seemed like they had just gotten it, and were heading out for their destination.
Well, when Asuma comes back, you should thank him again, Naruto.
Sure thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hungry.
Certainly.
Good timing. Why don't you take a break? Naruto, go get some ramen with Sakura and Sai. And, well, have him put the bill on my tab.
Whoa, you mean you're treating us? That rocks!
All right then, Kakashi-sensei, Captain Yamato, we're off.
Keep up the good work on your missions, you two.
Of course.
Oh, really? Why are we handed off to Naruto here? Oh, that's interesting. Well, whatever. You know, I've actually tossed around this idea a lot about doing side missions. I do know that a handful of them are technically already complete because this is, you know, a already played 42 hours. What am I doing all this time? Anyways, this is technically a new game plus save file, so I have been, you know, tossing around the idea of doing it on stream, but I don't think it's very entertaining due to the fact that it's mostly the doll stuff, which is a bunch of
Hello, Kurenai-sensei.
versus battles.
What are you doing out here?
But I don't know.
Oh,
Still tossing around the idea.
Just...
But you look a little pale. Kurenai-sensei?
No, I'm fine. Everything's fine. It is, isn't it? Asuma?
Huh?
I think if anything, Kurenai giving up becoming, well, she gave up becoming a ninja for a pretty good reason. But I don't know. I guess when I was a kid, I always assumed that, you know, characters had to be ninjas, but like that literally couldn't be the case because if everyone in the series had to be a ninja, you wouldn't get the bridge builder.
Don't get me wrong, it's a real treat trailing you around all day, but when are we gonna find the Jinchuriki?
Shut up. Just be quiet and follow me.
It's cold, man. I gotta mess somebody up soon, I'll tell you that. And I'll bet Lord Jashin's getting tired of waiting too.
Once we find the Jinchuriki, you can mess him up as much as you want.
Well, yeah, but... Whoa!
Sneak attack successfully executed.
I can't believe he walked right into it like that. It was worth the time we took to set it.
Ow, 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 ow! What's going on?
What?
Casually immortal.
A direct hit, Hidan. Poor work.
Hey, Kakuzu! If you had time to avoid that, you could have tipped me off too!
Serves you right for not being on your toes.
What is this? What's happening? How could you walk away from that?
Wait, did I talk about that thing about dehumanization with the Akatsuki? I did. I did talk about that with Sasori.
Did you do that? Not only was it burning hot, it completely ruined my clothes.
Those headbands. You're the Hidden Leaf Ninja.
And you're Akatsuki. We're under orders to restrain or destroy you.
Destroy us? Hey, Kakuzu! Did you hear that? They're gonna destroy us!
They don't seem to know their place.
Maybe we do and maybe we don't. Won't know until we have a go.
Excuse me.
Kakuzu, I'll take these guys. I've been wanting to rough somebody up.
Fine.
They're a bit too puny to be sacrifices for Lord Jashin, but they're better than nothing.
Don't underestimate them too much. They'll get steamrolled.
And I repeat, you're telling me this?
Asuma.
Right.
So,
Shikamaru, cover me. Izumo and Kotetsu, watch
to
the
go
other.
over what I meant by the dehumanization, or at least what hit my mind, was that the Akatsuki, like 99.9% of the Akatsuki, is like they. I don't remember how it was when I did that Sasori live stream, but basically it's the idea that they don't value their humanity, and the irony in all of it is that the only one that values their humanity is Itachi, and he is like the one normal guy in an organization of psychopaths. But you know, I don't know. When I think back to this fight in particular, I remember a lot of dread in watching Asuma get cooked, essentially. It was... I don't know. Because I'm trying to remember, like, the exact reason, or, like, the exact moment I said, no, I don't want to do this. No, okay, no. Now I remember. That was like when it was revealed that Hidan was immortal. But it was, that perceived final blow that I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I don't want to see anymore. You know, part of me sometimes wishes that, because it's not just a bunch of Naruto I have. It's a lot of other manga that I collected over the years. It's a fair bit. But, you know, I guess it goes in line with what I said earlier. That, well, not exactly, but the path that I chose for a reason. And heck, if I were to have gotten all the stuff back then, I probably would be on a completely different route than I am right now.
I felt that hit home. So why is he still standing?
I don't know.
Because
who's to say? You know, it's like that I guess meme, for lack of a better term, where it's like, if you ever get transported into the past, don't ever kill a mosquito, because who knows what's gonna happen.
Wow, you still want to go. But to tell you the truth, I don't really feel like playing with you anymore.
What?
I've already cursed you. My pain is your pain. I'll show you the pleasure between life and death.
What is this guy saying?
His pain is Asuma's? Huh? It can't be.
Well then, let's experience the ultimate pain together, shall we? Stop!
Why?
Asuma! How's that? Amazing, huh? The pain of death! That's one down.
You sure took your time.
Well, he was better than I thought. I played around a little.
Why, you filthy!
Huh? What, you want me to take you down too? Perfect.
So,
the more sacrifices
with
for
that
Lord
being
Jashin,
said,
real soon,
yeah,
you'll
I
be Shimaru!
I just don't.
Choji, Ino.
What's this?
Reinforcements?
I wish I did have more to say about this fight, but at the same time, it's like, I sit here and I think about it, and I think about my memories of how, like, the back and forth between that fight. It was excruciatingly long, if anything. At least it felt long. It felt long because it had to be long, and that the struggle to keep Asuma alive was a thing. And I think that if CC2 actually went about it, we'd probably get a really interesting boss fight. Easily the most interesting in the game due to the fact of having to protect Asuma and keep him alive until he can't be kept alive. But with that being said, you know, I guess this brings out an interesting point about the game, where a lot of Naruto's biggest moments aren't portrayed as well as they could be, right? Like, this game does a fantastic job portraying the general idea, or the general themes of Shippuden, rather, and it enhances a lot of the stuff that's already there and already cool to, like, 10. Like, let's say Naruto hitting Kakuzu with the Rasen Shuriken was a 7. Well, then this game bumps it up 3 more scores alone for its presentation in that upcoming boss fight. With that being said, there is always that awkward bit where this game doesn't portray everything that could be done with how well it could have been. I think in particular, because this fight is one of those examples, but something that always gets brought to mind is Sasuke versus Deidara, and that was, at least in my mind, it was such a big event in the manga, to the point it got its own cover on its book, Volume 40, in case you were wondering. But with that being said, when it comes to the game, kind of whatever. I mean, it's kind of whatever, probably due to the fact that CC2 knew what they were good at. And what they're good at is making big cinematic spectacles, and it's hard to do that for that fight in particular due to how unorthodox a lot of Deidara's fighting style is in comparison to generally every other Naruto character. Because, like, how do you like do that aerial fight that they had? It's kind of awkward to fit it into this kind of boss design that Ultimate Ninja Storm 2 has. Even with that being said, the fact that we got something like Kakuzu in the first place in this game is kind of a miracle in and of itself. Because this guy is like the definition of strange when it comes to boss design anatomy.
You! What are those people? It's like our attacks don't work at all.
Our lives are infinite, unlike yours.
What?
Your defeat is already assured. Give up and die.
No matter how much you resist, you're still all lambs for my slaughter. Sir, I only need a little more time. We're just about to get to the good part. But, sir, can't you give us just a few more minutes?
Enough, Hidon.
What? Are they talking to somebody?
We'll be back in no time, so prepare yourselves. Let's go, Hidon.
That darn leader. One of these days, I'm gonna put a curse on him.
If only you knew. If only you knew. Actually, what would happen if that were the case? It wouldn't be able to affect him, right? Because there's nobody to feel it. I mean, technically there is, but like, wait, no, wait a minute. Does pain bleed? No, I don't think he ever. No, he did. He did. He did in the fight against Jiraiya. Never mind. Sorry, I was about to. I guess in a sense of power scaling discussion here, where it's like, wait a minute. I think Pain hard counters heat on.
Ino, how is he?
I can't heal this.
Ino.
No. Don't. I wouldn't make it anyway. I can feel it. I bet that you three can feel it too.
Asuma.
I've got something I want to tell you three.
Asuma-sensei, stop talking.
Choji. Ino, you too.
Shikamaru?
Listen closely to Asuma-sensei's words. They'll be his last.
Huh?
Ino.
Yes?
You may be headstrong, but you're also a considerate caretaker. Choji and Shikamaru, they're awkward, clumsy. Watch over them.
Yes?
And don't you ever lose to Sakura. Not in ninjutsu or in romance.
I won't.
Choji, you're a thoughtful, loyal friend. And a kind soul. In time, you'll become a stronger ninja than everyone else. So be more confident in yourself.
Got it.
And another thing. You might consider losing a few pounds.
I don't know if it's possible, but I'll try to.
And finally, Shikamaru, you're razor sharp. With the instincts of a great ninja. Truly worthy of becoming Hokage, though you'd probably try to avoid it. Since you'd find the job such a drag. Which reminds me, remember when we talked about the king? Let me tell you who it is. Give me your ear.
Asuma. You... That's why...
I'm counting on you. Shikamaru, Choji, Ino. I'm glad I met you. Gorenai, thank you.
Sensei?
I still had things I wanted to learn from you. But you're so selfish. Right to the end. Even at the end. Oh.
I think the most interesting aspect of this arc was actually seeing
That's
how
as far as we'll
Shikamaru
go for now.
acted afterwards. Particularly in the fact that he would try to imitate
getting the hang of
Asuma
this, aren't you?
in not smoking a not real cigarette or an imaginary cigarette. That's what I wanted to
Not
say
much
for
longer
that.
now.
I don't know.
It's
I
hard to
guess.
believe that Naruto is picking this up so fast.
What else? What else is there to say? I guess as much as it is you know, appreciating this arc is about appreciating the people around you. It is also about taking that closure in a sense for Shikamaru, because I'm remembering now the final panels of his fight with Hidan, and if I remember correctly, yeah, if I remember correctly, like Asuma is like kind of appearing in his lighter, and then as Shikamaru throws the lighter, Asuma disappears. If I'm remembering correctly, I don't quite remember.
Okay.
In your mind, go over all you've experienced until now, and come at me with everything you've got.
Yep.
With that being said, I think I might end this stream in a little bit. I might. I don't know. Oh no! Should have ended it earlier. I guess if anything, actually, now that I can talk now that I think about it, there is Kakashi Gaiden. I think it's called Kakashi Gaiden. Volume 27. Oh, by the way, I also have to take back what I said about that. That volume is partially related to Sasuke, in that he is mentioned in it. Excuse me. Yeah, he is mentioned in it, but he doesn't necessarily have. Oh no, and he has like 2 panels of screen time. But yeah, that was it for, you know, like the first manga cover that had Sasuke very prevalent on its paneling. 2 panels. Anyways, yeah, nah, you know what? Here's the thing, and here's the really awkward thing about, you know, the way that a lot of these fights were adapted in both the anime and the video games, is now I'm caught in a very interesting situation where it's like, oh, I can talk about Kakashi Gaiden, and it's like, oh wait, that might be in Storm 4. I don't even know if I'll ever stream Storm 4. I might.
Kakashi-sensei,
but
how did I do?
I don't know.
Frankly, I didn't expect you to do this well. You're still the #1 hyperactive knucklehead ninja.
I guess if anything, it's always a very interesting point when pieces of material like Kakashi Gaiden come out and they go on to further define a character like Kakashi and explain why he is the way that he is.
He really is incredible.
Kakashi.
What's something substantial I can say at least for Kakashi? Because I guess to say that his whole stickler thing makes sense with how with how loose he got with the rules as he grew up.
Asuma Saratobi has been killed.
What?
Asuma-sensei?
The 5th Hokage will tell you the details. If you would all go to the mansion, that is all.
Wait, why would Asuma-sensei?
Kakashi.
Well, for now, let's hurry to the 5th Hokage.
I don't know. It's hard to not talk about especially for the fact that most of Kakashi and Obito's character arcs aren't fully explored as of Kakashi Gaiden. I keep calling it Kakashi Gaiden. I don't even know. Basically, the flashback that's not a flashback because it's not colored black in volume 27. I don't know what to call it, but Kakashi Chronicles. There you go. I don't know. It's hard to say a lot about it now that I think about it, due to the fact that their character arcs aren't done, nor is it a substantial step in either direction for Obito in particular. I mean, it is, considering the fact that we know that he likes to make excuses for himself, and by the end of it, drops the excuses entirely. But in a sense, here's something I didn't think about until now. Kakashi ended up picking up a lot of Obito's bad habits. I never thought of that until now. Like, I made the connection that the reason, Ichiraku's too far away. I'm going back to the mansion. I made the connection that the reason why Kakashi was late is because he constantly goes to Obito's grave to mourn. Which also functions in the fact that Obito is always late because he's just not responsible.
Shikamaru.
Shoot. I had something, then I lost it. Whatever. Basically, Kakashi got hit hard and copied all of Obito's worst habits.
Oh, Naruto.
Which, unironically, ended up rounding him out as a person. Because instead of being a stickler for the rules, he can acknowledge when there is times that you gotta break the rules in order to do what you gotta do.
Listen.
Sorry, I can't talk. I've got business to take care of.
Business?
Kakashi.
Yeah.
What? Okay, I got juked here. I thought we were going to get a voice cutscene. But then again, we already just went through it, so I guess that is self-explanatory in a sense why it isn't voiced. Well, you know, how far? Okay, so we're about to get into the Shikamaru part where he's about to leave the village. How much more? Okay, you know what? I could probably end this chapter in the same night, but for the fact that excuse me, yeah, basically what Hidan's going through, a bit tiredness. I think I might call it
Who cares about
here.
sealing the two tails? We could have done that any time. Because of that, Lord Jashin's sacrifices got away. Right, Kakuzu? Hey, say something.
I can't deal with you. Let's hurry to the Hidden Leaf Village.
Come on now.
If you want sacrifices that badly, hunt for as many as you want at the Hidden Leaf.
Oh, hey. You're right. I'll go preach the way of Jashin to those heathens.
How devoted of you.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Ready, Shikamaru? Yeah.
Hold it. You going somewhere?
Your mission directive still stands. I've just assembled a new team, and we're going ahead with the mission.
Not without my approval, you're not. Asuma is dead. There's only 3 of you. The basic unit is a 4-man cell. Without a squad leader...
Asuma is still with us.
You're after vengeance then, aren't you? This isn't like you at all. Are you so eager to die?
We're not stupid. We have no intention of running straight to our deaths, believe me. It's just...
Just what?
We don't intend to run away and keep on living without fulfilling our duty. We aren't going to live without meaning.
I forgot he said that.
Grow up, you 3. The shadow of death hangs over all ninja. Some deaths may be harder to accept than others. But unless one gets past that, there can be no future. Face reality. There's 3 of you, okay? A full squad has...
A full squad has 4. Then it's all right. Right, Lady Tsunade?
Kakashi?
I'll take over as Team 10's leader and go with them. Fair enough?
What are you...
They're going to go even if you try to stop them. Might as well send me along so I can keep an eye on them.
But...
And stop them from doing anything stupid.
Oh, all right. As you wish.
My thanks.
What about Naruto?
Oh, well, he doesn't need me around anymore. Plus, he's got another squad leader with him now, so... Now then, Team 10. Shall we move out?
Thanks, Kakashi. We owe you one.
It's kind of interesting. Okay, so for reference, like I said, this part of the series has a bunch of holes in it regarding my collection, but I do have volume 37, which takes place after Asuma's death, and I was reading it somewhat recently, about 2 weeks ago, and a week ago, really. Well, maybe it's 2 weeks actually. Anyways, the point is that was almost beat for beat the dialogue in the manga, and if that's the case with as much as has been playing out thus far, oh man, Sai is in like a whole heaping mess of trouble because whatchamacallit, there's just not much there then. Oh boy, that's a terrifying thought. Oh, okay. Dude, I do this every live stream. I get ready to save, the game auto saves for me, and then I'm like, this game auto saves? Okay, but you know what? I'm one of those guys who feel much more comfortable hitting an actual save point, so bear with me a little. Alright, you can stop bearing with me, we're done. Okay. That being said, so, in case you're new around here, at the end of every live stream, I do the same thing. Well, it's kind of awkward now that Hidan's on the scene. Now I'm self-conscious, but I'll do it anyways. So, at the end of every live stream, I give people the opportunity to come to Jesus, and this is purely of your own free will. You can do it, you can opt out if you feel like, but hey, if you had it in your heart that you wanted to give your life to Jesus, or that someone in your life was like your mom, grandma, someone along the lines of that was trying to steer you into this route, and if you just so happen to find this video, then it's not a coincidence. So with that being said, if you want to get saved, just repeat what I'm about to say. That if thou should confess with thy mouth the Lord Jesus, don't repeat what I'm about to say, but I'm going to read to you Romans 10:9, which dictates how one can be saved. So, that if thou should confess with thy mouth the Lord Jesus, and shalt believe in thine heart that God hath raised him from the dead, that thou shalt be saved. For with the heart man believeth unto righteousness, and with the mouth confession is made unto salvation. In layman terms, what that means that if you confess with your mouth that Jesus Christ is Lord, and believe in your heart that God hath raised him from the dead on the third day, then you are saved. It's as simple as that. And congratulations, you're saved. So, what happens now? Really, what happens is a new beginning, a rebirth, a reborn, revival. One of those words is correct, but you go into the Bible, and I recommend going on reading John. Let me get this correct because there's so many books of John in the Bible. Alright, you go from John page 658 and read onwards. That is the New Testament, which talks about Jesus and what Jesus did for us. To give you a layman's terms of that as well, that by Jesus dying on the cross, he died and took your sins and the punishment for them. And the reason why you come to Jesus is to, I really should have said this beforehand, but whatever, I'm in the moment now. The reason why you come to Jesus is to accept the sacrifice that he had made for you. Why do you have to accept Jesus as Lord and Savior in order to accept the sacrifice? Because, well, I guess the question would be, if he sacrificed himself for you, wouldn't you still be saved regardless of acceptance of him? No. The answer to that question is no, because just like a person, someone could pay for your parking fee. They could opt in to pay it for you, and they have the money in their hand, and they gave it to the officer already, saying, hey, I paid for their parking fee, parking ticket, whatever. You don't have to slam their license with a point. But if that person says, no, I don't accept that, well, then their payment doesn't mean much of anything. Or yeah, if they don't accept it, then the payment doesn't mean much of anything, because you are deciding to take the responsibility on yourself instead of letting the person who wants to help you. That's the point of accepting Jesus as your Lord and Savior. And as he died on the cross, that is what all of that was for. I'm explaining it because I know when I was younger, nobody explained it to me. I think they tried, but it never got to my understanding of what was the point of all this. So, by explaining it, I know that someone who doesn't know will now know better. Yeah. It's a really interesting thing, the sacrifice. I mean, it was... I don't know. I think about it a lot, of everything that I've done that basically put Jesus on the cross. And, you know, I guess this is another point of it, which is why I'm bringing this up, is the fact that, you know, someone might think, okay, well, I didn't live a bad life or anything of that nature. I couldn't have been a bad enough person to warrant someone sacrificing themselves for me, and or I'm sure my good deeds are good enough to get me into heaven. And to that I say no, because there is not one righteous among us on earth. Our righteousness, yours and mine, are as good as a dirty rag, because irregardless of how good we may seem to man, or how good we may seem in comparison to another man, up to God's standards, we fall short of it every time. Why do I say every time? Simple. Have you ever thought bad of someone? Have you ever talked behind someone's back? If so, you're in the same league as everyone else on planet Earth. And, you know, it doesn't matter if one person has done something worse. By default of being unable to fulfill all the law, you broke it. And that's the point of why Jesus is so important, because we couldn't fulfill all the law. He did. And so through his sacrifice, we take on his righteousness again, which is the importance of accepting Jesus Christ as Lord. And he took on our sin, which is why in his death, well, he had to die. And the point of him being risen back from the dead was to show that he had power over death. Why is that important? Because everyone on earth is so concerned with their lives. You know, maybe we don't all think it, maybe we don't all say it, but it is true to some extent that we want to live. And I think it's just as simple a statement as that. We want to live. Nobody wants to die. No one wants to face some kind of cruel demise. But then Jesus walks back from the dead, showing that death has no power over him. That the eternal life he spoke about is a real thing. And this is why, you know, it's such an important part that I feel that I need to get out there, was that more than any other religious figure in the world, Jesus is the only one that showed to have any kind of power over death. He lived again. And that's, to me anyways, that is one of the strongest things that he could show, was that above all else, he didn't love his life to the end, and neither did his disciples, and that is like really strong, because knowing the fact that oh well, like you could try and kill him, still alive. You could try to kill them, his disciples too, and they live in heaven. I don't particularly know why I decided to go on that tangent. It felt right, I guess. But hey, maybe someone needed to hear that. So with that being said, hey, appreciate you all for stopping by, and I will see you all next time. Until then.